Thanks for tuning in to 210 Local Music Podcast. You're listening to episode number 18.
210 Local Music.
Thanks for tuning in. This is episode 18 of 210 Local Music Podcast. This is going to be a special edition episode. It's not going to be like your traditional episode where it's an interview with the band. This time, we're kind of covering a couple of things: the Monsters of Music Festival and MonsterCon, which 210 Local Music participated in a few weeks ago. The event was rained out, so not a lot got to happen, and some of the music that I did get to record was a lot of covers, and unfortunately there's really nothing I can do about covers. I can't get the licensing that I require. A lot of podcasters do play music that they don't have the license for, which, to me, I have a big problem with that. I'm usually a fight the man kind of a guy, but in this particular case, I want to play by the rules because I really want this podcast to last a long time. Anyway, I didn't get to get a lot of that audio recording. However, we do have a live performance by Terra Firma, which you'll hear later on. That'll close the show. And they played a few songs. It was a really great experience getting to see them play at the mall. A lot of people that were there weren't already fans, and I think they gained quite a bit more Twitter followers and Facebook fans by playing at the mall. Special shout out to the people in charge of MonsterCon that allowed Terra Firma to be able to take the stage indoors. The Monsters of Music Festival kind of went downhill after the rain started, and Xander Ash, the CEO of Socio Band, tried to get something started for everybody indoors. It didn't work. He was only able to get Green Jelly to play, and they were the only ones that had permission at the time. Matthew from Terra Firma went to the MonsterCon coordinator and said, hey, we're going to be respectful of the sound, we're going to be respectful of the space, we'd love to play, a lot of our fans are already here, we think we can bring something to this rather than detract from it. And she was gracious enough to allow them to play, and they did a great job. They actually hired a sound guy whose name I don't remember. I'm really horrible with names. Anybody that's met me can tell you that I'm really bad with names. I'm trying to get better, especially now that I'm meeting so many people through the podcast. But anyway, I know he works sound for the Limelight, and I believe he also works sound for Leon. Anyway, he did a great job. The vocals were separate, which is, to me, the most common mistake that we hear is that all you hear is drums, or all you hear is drums and bass, and the guitar kind of fades, or the vocals fade away, or everything gets all mushed up. This guy did a great job with Terra Firma's sound. I think it helps that he knows the band, he knows the way the sound should be. He's worked with them before, but great job on hiring him to help you guys out. Great job. I think he really was that additional member of the band in getting that sound to come out just right. Anyway, some important news. Xander Ash is going to be moving to Hawaii. He is the CEO for Socio Band, which got started a little bit before I did, I believe, trying to get San Antonio music up and going. And so just on the side of losing somebody for the cause, Xander, you will be missed. I hope you do well in Hawaii. Something else that got to happen at MonsterCon was that I got to meet another podcaster, which to me was an amazing situation because I haven't really met any podcasters. Well, I take that back. I did meet Ray Tattooed Boy, who helps out occasionally with the Unbearable Drudge podcast, who I totally completely miss. They haven't really put out an episode lately. I know they've got things, they've been really busy lately with personal issues. I think somebody was moving. I'm not completely sure, but hopefully they get that started back up again. It was fun to get to hear Ray talk about all sorts of things, from music to well, you'd have to just check out the podcast so you can hear what they talk about. There's so much stuff that they covered. By and large, I think the best episode was, Trip to the Record Shop, or Record Store Day, I think was the title of it. And then the other one was their interview with Puro Pincha Stephanie from Puro Pincha SA. And I think both of those were definitely my two favorites. But you should really check out the podcast. It's a great podcast. Maybe get some more likes on and followers and subscribers, and maybe that'll kind of kick them into gear so we can get some more episodes going. Anyway, the podcaster that I did get to meet at the MonsterCon is Eddie Rotten from the Zombie Life podcast. I believe it's the Jig and Eddie's Zombie Life podcast. You can find that at www.zombielifepodcast.co.uk. Jig is from the UK, and Eddie is actually from, I believe he said Houston? I'm not quite sure. I know he's from around the area. I kind of made an exception to my general San Antonio only rule, only because it's another podcaster. So I thought I'd share that aspect with y'all. I know I primarily do music, movies, or I know I primarily focus on music, art, film, and entertainment in the San Antonio area. But this is just a chance to hear something else that was interesting. Plus, I kind of owe the guy. He put up my interview on his podcast, which I don't have anything to do with zombies. Although I dealt in my personal life, I love Walking Dead. I love zombies. I've seen pretty much every zombie movie that exists. A huge fan, and he kind of did the same thing I did. Oh, another podcaster. Let's trade interviews. So I included that interview as well, so you guys can check it out. He's got a lot of great stuff coming up, so keep up with him. Again, that's Jig and Eddie Zombie Life Podcast. You'll hear his links when he comes out as well. Something else that I've gotten involved in lately, and I believe I've put out 4 articles, 4 blog posts for thewaterline.org. I've gotten some good responses so far from that. Overall, it's a great site. I know a lot of the people that write the articles for the site. We cover so many different aspects of just life in general. Of course, my main focus right now is music. My next article that I'm writing is getting a little bit more into film, and I'll try to represent the 210 stuff over there at thewaterline.org. I don't want to run too long with this. I know I always say that, but this is just the main introduction. I am going to reintroduce Terra Firma a little bit later. I have a couple of things to say for them, and I'll see what else I can get for you in this mixed bag of an episode. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll check back with you in a little bit.
Hi, this is Jen Alba. I play the bass in Girl in Coma. I also paint, and you're listening to 210 Local Music, San Antonio, Texas.
That's good. That's perfect. I love that. All right, this is 210 Local Music Podcast. My name's Mario, and we're at MonsterCon right now inside Mall. What is it called now? Because it used to be Crossroads Mall, but before that it was what they call it now.
The
Wonderland Mall of the Americas. I'm here with Eddie Rodden of Eddie Rodden Presents Caution Zombies, Woods of the Walking Dead. Tell me a little bit about that. First of all, I always say, who are you and what do you do? So we'll start with that. Kind of introduce yourself as well.
Well, my name is Eddie Rodden. I have a podcast called the Zombie Life Podcast, and it kind of started. Everything kind of started on Twitter. I wrote a story and it started on Twitter, and slowly people started adding me and following me on Twitter. And shameless plug, it's at Eddie Rodden.
That's all right.
Pretty easy. So what happened is I started writing this story. And I would take people that would interact with me. They would say, I love the story, I want more of it, what do I do, so I can read more. So I ended up making a website, so that's eddierotten.com or blogspot.com or something like that. Anyways, the people that responded the most to me, I made them characters in the story. And so they would write their own story, and I wouldn't have to market it at all. They would do it, because their friends want to see them as a hero or a villain. So they would send in to me if they were, what they wanted to be, a hero or a villain, what kind of weapon they used, or whatever. So I had them write in their own story, and it actually turned into this big deal. So the story is 2.5 years long. It covers every major thing that's happened in politics or world calamity over the last 2.5 years. So Fukushima's in there. The big tsunami that happened in Japan, that's in there. But it's all because of zombies. And so there's governments of the world that started this whole zombie thing anyway. So one of the characters, his name is Jig. And Jig is a guy from the UK. And he found me on Twitter. He said, man, I love this story, blah, blah. So I made him a character. And he's sometimes a good guy, sometimes a bad guy, whatever. And we ended up being really good, close friends. And he is now the co-host of the Zombie Life Podcast. So we get together once a week, once every other week, and record a show. And because he has, the show is about zombies first and foremost. And so we talk about everything zombie, anything that you see in the news or whatever about zombies. The thing that happened in Florida where the guy was eating the dude's face off.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. That was pretty scary stuff.
Bath salts? Yeah, bath salts or whatever. They want to blame it on this time. Yeah. But so we talked about that kind of stuff, and more and more people started to listen. The story that I wrote is based on controversy, and and so I interview a lot of ex-military, and I interview people that really know their stuff with what goes on in the government and the politics and stuff, and along with zombies. And so the podcast started slowly taking off and stuff like that, and then we started interviewing bigger people like we interviewed Night of the Living Dead live from Canada. We interviewed Army of Darkness, not Army of Darkness, but what's the original? Evil Dead. Evil Dead the musical. It's got a musical on the main strip of Vegas, Las Vegas. We interviewed the producer of that.
Yeah.
And it's just very, very cool. Wow. So it's just a tumbleweed of blood.
Yeah, I think I found out pretty early on that if you find the right niche,
yes,
things will blow up.
Yeah. And who doesn't like zombies, man? You know?
Oh yeah, zombies are hot.
Sometimes we talk about some things that make me uncomfortable or make Jig uncomfortable, like guns are big in politics right now, and in the UK, nobody has a freaking gun, you know, and so I tell him, well, we need guns so we can protect ourselves, and he says, well, I've never had a gun or shot a gun in my life, and he's 30 years old, and so it like blows my mind that he hasn't, they can't do that.
It's completely different. It's difficult because different laws, different governments, different everything, and what they don't think they have to worry about, we're pretty aware of, or we are prepared for, or, you know, a little bit differently than they are.
Dude, they travel around with batons. Like, you know the batons that cops flip out and use? Like a billy club. They walk around with billy clubs. There's no guns in the nightstands or something. Somebody breaks into their house. Now, the bad guys might have guns. But a regular citizen, they can't justify having one for some reason. I think that defeats the purpose, but I guess you're...
Strange.
It is. I guess you kind of... Your mind kind of melds into what is around you while you're growing up. Like, I grew up around guns. It doesn't seem like there's no issue about it.
Yeah.
In Texas, you can
part of life.
go to Walmart, pick up a gallon of milk, some blue jeans, and a shotgun.
Yeah.
But there, you can't do anything. You have to sign some special permit, go to a class, and you got to be part of some kind of weird military group, and whatever.
So what exactly, you said, of course, you started with the Twitter. That's really where things started off for you. Doing the podcast, like, is it mostly interviews, or is it also the fan fiction as well? Are you looking to grow that more, or what direction are you headed with that?
The podcast, I think, is a whole entity in itself. And so the umbrella, the Eddie Rotten name, it houses a board game that I'm working on right now. It's a zombie board game.
You mentioned a book as well?
Yeah, there's a book. If you go to eddierotten.blogspot.com, there's a book that dates back two and a half years. If you go to the right, there's an archive. You go down to the bottom, and it starts in 2011, January 2011. And it just talks about everything. So there's a book that's coming out at the end of this year. It's called Frequency with a Z. And so there's that, the board game, the book. There's the podcast, the Zombie Life podcast. We've got Twitter, Facebook, YouTube stuff. And now we're sponsoring different events like this Mission Airsoft Zombie Hunt. They called me up. They said, hey, we want you out there. We want you to talk about it. And since I've been involved with them so much, inside my story, there's a group of people that come together as like revolutionists or something, you know, kind of like, what's the guy's names with the mask on their face that they do from Vendetta, V for Vendetta, the guy's face, the whole group, my brain is like, come on.
Are you thinking the hacker group?
Yeah,
sticking that on?
Yes. What are they called? Oh my God.
I don't know.
Anyways, you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
With the face and the mustache?
Yeah.
What am I tripping
They were in the
about?
news. Well, it was the last time I saw them, about a year ago. They had some big stuff going on.
Even now, like every day they do stuff. They shut people down all the time. Anyways, there's a group like that inside my story. They're called the ZFC, or the Zombie Fight Club. Well, Mission Airsoft opened up about 2 years ago. There's people that are reading the blog, and they got into it, started following me on Facebook, Twitter, and all that. And they started their own ZFC team on the field. And so now there's Mission Airsoft Zombie Fight Club. And so the Zombie Fight Club is probably 30 people deep, and they have like survival courses, first aid courses, anything that you can do to stay alive whenever the zombies come, you know. So yeah, it's kind of taken
very cool. It's funny because I consider myself a conspiracy theorist. I love zombies. I kind of prepped myself for some things. Learned how to make arrowheads out of rock, which was much to my wife's chagrin because I now have to build up a ton of rocks.
Okay.
Kind of dumb. But yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to realize that maybe the preparation should be there, or at least the knowledge should be there. If I can make arrowheads, I can make fish hooks. So I've got the honey aspect down.
That's
Of course, I'm overweight and I have bad ankles and bad knees, so I can be the first one to go.
90% of America is overweight with bad ankles and bad knees. But let me tell you, I've interviewed a lot of people from all over the world, okay? Nobody is as down to kill people as Americans for some weird reason. There's people that grow up like in Israel. They grow up, they have to go into the military. And somebody, we do the military all right. But America's got this weird angst built up. If you raise your hand, dude, it's on. It's on. People are so ready to tear somebody's face off here.
Have you found that it's specific to Texas as well? Is it more hardcore in Texas?
It is. Texas is the Wild West, man. Even though we're the very bottom. I lived in Salt Lake for 10, 12 years. And whenever I came back to Texas, I was here for 2 months. Automatically got into it with somebody for no reason. They were drunk. Dude, alcohol. It's the alcohol, man. The more alcohol the government pours into us, not that it's a horrible thing, no, I swear to God. The more alcohol that we have, the faster this country's going to change. Mark my words.
I'll just say, like any zombie movie or any horror movie, somebody gets drunk, they're going to die.
Yeah, we talked about it on my show too. Jig says that, because he loves to drink English beers and stuff like that, and they pride themselves on how much they can drink, and dark beers, light beers, whatever. And then we started talking about how, if you're not sober, and let's take, for example, like if it happened like it does in my book, where the government literally dropped zombies off in a neighborhood to control the population, to wipe everybody out. Okay? And then they'll come back in and take that virus, and they'll go drop it off somewhere else. Dude, if you're drunk, you can't run from zombies.
It's just not going to work. You're going to fall. You're going to try to load your gun and blow your own head off.
Yeah. I mean, why not? You're drunk. So you're limited. And if you're fat and overweight, with bad ankles and bad knees like me, and 90% of America, that's the thing. Here's another conspiracy thing. There's more than one person that said that 80% of the population is supposed to be wiped out for the humanity to survive. Okay? So I know that Obama said it a couple times, not in so many words, but Bill Gates has said it. He did his conference for the TED conference. He put his he had a big show where he put up this big billboard on the back of a big, like a whiteboard or something, and it says, V plus P equals U. And everybody's like, well, what is that? So at the very end, he finally explained it. A virus plus people or populace equals utopia. So then he went into what we have to do is subtly start to get rid of all the population so, the rich survive, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, it's not just randomness. They're not going to randomly do this. They're going to eliminate the classes.
Yes.
Starting with the lower classes.
Right. They did that.
The middle class. And I think that's part of what the idea of separating the classes is. Yeah, the middle class almost doesn't exist anymore. It's upper and lower.
Right. And the UN, they put out this document called Agenda 21. I don't know if you know anything about that, but Agenda 21 says what we need to do to make the world work together is get rid of 80% of the population, and then we need to differentiate who does what. So North America is going to be the military of the world. China is going to be the technology leaders of the world. Europe or over there, they're going to be the political side of the world. So everybody's got to play their part, But they never say anything about Africa. And if you notice in the news, dude, people are dying like by the hundreds every day.
Nobody's going to help.
Nobody's doing shit, man. Nobody's doing anything. Pardon my language. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's cool. It's like I said earlier, my podcast, I can do what I want. I can say whatever I want. We're good.
But that's the whole thing. That's why I'm into zombies. That's why I like to visit people and meet people. And that's why I like to podcast. It's just a whirlwind of fun.
Yeah, I think it opens up everything.
Yeah.
So thanks again for your time, man. I really
Yes,
do
sir.
appreciate it. And we'll put your links up on the website as well. This is going to be a special episode, so put all your plugs and the link to the site.
Thank you.
Keep this going.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, we've got Terra Firma. This is their live performance from the MonsterCon / Monsters of Music Festival that took place at the Wonderland Mall of Americas, which used to be known as Crossroads for everybody who's familiar. I think it's pretty much in the area of 410 I-10 interchange off of Fredericksburg Road. The event took place outdoors, and it did get rained out. Terra Firma was able to get indoors. I kind of mentioned that at the beginning. Anyway, you want to follow this band. They've been doing some really great things lately. I love their music. My son, he's going to be a year pretty soon, he loves Terra Firma. I put it on in the car, and he kind of calms down whenever he's upset. I do consider myself a Terra Firmian, as well as a Slayer for Slow Like Fire. I consider myself a fan of everybody, but something that I brought up, interestingly enough, on the Twitter site was, if you're a band, what do you call your fans? And those two I kind of brought to the table. I know Alora is another artist who calls her fans Alorians, and I believe Chris Dillard mentioned the Signal Men as the Signal fans. So that was kind of interesting. Hopefully I can get some more response on that kind of stuff, just because I think it's a great marketing tool. I think it's a great technique to identify your fans, for them to identify themselves, feel like they're part of a club. I know that's definitely something that's true with Terra Firma. I see it all the time, #TerraFirnians. It's great to see that. Anyway, the guys have come a long way in a very short period of time. On Monday they were on San Antonio Living, and Friday they're actually going to be on KABB. I don't have too many details on that, but you can follow them on their Facebook page, facebook.com/TerraFirma. They have some information coming on that soon, I'm sure. They're also in the middle of a Texas Motor Speedway Fast Track to Fame contest. If you enjoy their music, try to help them out. I know over the last month I've tried to help Hydromelody with Get Out of the Garage contest. My goal was to go in every single day and blast everything on the Facebook page, on my personal page, and every day is kind of tough. I've gone from not looking at Facebook at all forever to try to doing it every day, and it was really tough. But I hope I helped the best that I could. Hopefully those guys will move on to the next round so they can make some more money to further the Hydromelody cause. Anyway, back to Terra Firma. They are also going to be playing tonight. The event is Chasing the Night. It starts at 7 p.m., $10 at the door, all ages. It's going to be Years Gone, Recreating Eden, Ready Revolution, and then finally topping off the night at midnight is Terra Firma. Terra Firma, I've seen them play at Jack's before. I think they're awesome. Without further delay, here's Terra Firma at Crossroads Mall, a.k.a. Wonderland Mall of the Americas. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/210localmusic. There are over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. This is 210 Local Music Podcast. I am at the Wonderland of the Americas Mall, which used to be Crossroads, which before that used to be Wonderland Mall. Terra Firma is getting up on stage. I'm as close as I can be without overloading the microphone. I've set the gain down a little bit. Hopefully that helps. I don't want to stand in front of that guy's area. This is MonsterCon. MonsterCon was awesome enough to allow Terra Firma to play indoors. I believe all the other bands aside from Green Jelly played outdoors. It did get rained out earlier. It's been kind of a rough day for a lot of local bands, but it's good to see the Terra Firma.
Monitor, check, monitor, hello, check, keep it coming.
It is good to see that.
1, 2, I don't really hear anything, just check, 1, 2, monitor, check.
It is good to see that Terra Firma is getting this opportunity. There's quite a crowd here.
Monitor.
Actually, quite a crowd, so really excited for these guys. Completely new audience. I know they've got some fans here as well. So I'll check in just a little bit so we can test this out, see how good this goes. See how well this goes, good this goes. Anyway.
What's up, everyone? We're Terra Firma, straight out of San Antonio, Texas. We're going to play a few tracks for you today. This first song is called The Journey. We hope you enjoy it. We're gonna try out another new one for you guys, if that's okay. Is that cool? Cool. This one's called Too Far to Sleep. Wake up, the time is now. Time to wipe sleep from your brow. You think back so you won't get burned. You listen to me. On to the next one. Baby, you see.
Okay, hello MonsterCon. I've been out here all day, seen some pretty cool stuff. See over there, you're pretty cool too, man. Yes, thank you. Anyways, thank you all for coming out. It's been great. It's been a great day so far.
You guys having a good day so far? Yeah? Excited to see how you guys do. Thank you for listening. We're going to play this new song. This one's called In the Secret, and it goes something like this.
Hi guys, once again, you guys here, Brennan. Thank you so much, MonsterCon, Wembley, and all of Americas. We are back from San Antonio. We've been together officially since February. Unfortunately, our key witness is not here. But thank you guys so much for checking us out. We got CDs, we got shirts for sale. If you're into it, please come by. We're not crazy dudes. We love talking about music and dirty stuff with y'all. So please come by and visit us.
So like my good friend Jelly said, we do have CDs for sale. We're about to play you a track off that CD. This one's called I Fell From That. We hope you enjoy it.
So, do any of you guys have like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or any of that cool stuff? Yeah, make some noise if you have it. Brandon's that doesn't know. You don't know. Anyway, for all of those who do have it, live tweet at us right now at Terraferno. Take pics, take whatever. We'll retweet it. We'll reblog it. I promise.
All right, guys. So tomorrow is someone very special in my wife's birthday, Darian. This song goes out to you. So everyone say happy birthday, Darian.
Happy birthday, Darian.
Happy birthday, Darian.
And like my friend Brandon over here said, this is for Darian. But this is for all you lovers out there too. So we didn't forget about you guys and all y'all out there too, okay? Here we go. And you. Thank you so much. We have about 2 more songs for you. This next song that we're about to play is called Before We Go Crazy. For all you YouTube heads out there, we just shot a music video for this one. Please go check it out. It's really, really cool. Promise. Anyway, we got 2 more songs for you. This one's called Before We Go Crazy.
Alright guys, so, we worked very hard for this. And like Matthew was saying earlier, you can find us at Facebook, Twitter, even if you Google Terra Firma, you'll find a bunch about us. We had the privilege to play a World Tour this year, and that was so much fun. So we've been doing a lot, working hard, so we can bring y'all San Antonio new material every day, and we're fixing to get out there. So,
Alright guys, this song's coming before we go crazy.
See MonsterCon, shout out to you guys, everybody here. We love you guys. Thank you so much for having us. Give yourselves a hand. Come on. Woo. So this last song that we're about to play is the title track off our EP that we have back there. Right behind the beautiful zombie princesses over here. We have CDs and stuff for sale. There's only $5 to get a CD, guys. We'd love to share the music with you guys. Just have it in your hands, guys, because we want you to have it. This last song's called Eyes of the Sun. It goes like this.
You said so long.
Come talk to us. Right over here is our merch table. Please, we'd love to talk to you. God bless.
Today's podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/210localmusic. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
This is Eddie Rutten with the Zombie Life Podcast. This is awesome because at MonsterCon Day 1, I ran into a guy. His name is Mario Zamron. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's Portuguese, you said?
Yes, it is Portuguese, although living in San Antonio, everybody pretty much just assumes it's Mexican or whatever. I'm fine with it, I don't care.
And you have a podcast called 210 Local Music.
Yes.
How did that come about?
I've kind of always been into, well, I love music. I used to be in bands when I was a teenager. I tried to get stuff going back then. The scene was tough. I stopped making music and started watching shows and going from concert venue to concert venue and finding out that, you know, for example, there's this one venue that we have downtown called the White Rabbit where 20 bands will show up, they'll play for 20 minutes each, and then you never hear from these bands ever again. Now, this is the way it used to be. And so that's how I kind of just decided, well, I'm going to bail on the music scene.
Right.
So fast forward a few years, maybe like 2 years ago, I discovered Girl in a Coma, which is a local San Antonio band of 3 girls, 2 sisters, and their best friend.
And what are they called again?
Girl in a Coma.
Girl in a Coma.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're named after Morrissey song, Girlfriend in a Coma.
Yeah, that's right.
They're amazing. So I went to go see the Toadies open, or the Toadies play, and Girl in a Coma opened for them. And really after that, I was totally trying to get back into the music scene. Okay, this is something here. I didn't know we had this. I thought this would be in Austin.
Yeah.
And I looked around, and after a while, started realizing there's a lot of talent here.
There
and
is.
eventually, it became to where I was like, everybody's trying to get heard. Everybody's trying to get seen. There's amazing talent, and nobody's paying any attention to it.
Right.
So I figured, well, I had just bought an iPhone, and this is like 4 months ago. Just bought an iPhone. My friend's like, yeah, you should check out podcasts.
Okay, wait. Is this your first smartphone ever?
No, I've been with Android for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, and Android.
And you went to iPhone
I
from
went to
Android.
iPhone from Android, and I love it. I think it's great.
Okay, better than Android.
Yes, especially now with iOS 7 because they kind of Androidified it a little bit. So the
Really?
stuff that I missed from my Android is now on the iPhone. So I have no reason to go back to the
I'm
Android.
intrigued now because I've bought Nexus only since day one. Like I had the G1, and then I bought the Nexus 1, and now I have the Nexus 4.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's telling me, dude, iOS 7 is completely different.
It really is. It's revolutionary, I think. I think one of the things that I love about it is that you find stuff that you had never thought existed before, and because of Android's limitations, pretty much. I mean, there's no Android operating system podcasting app. With the iPhone, you get it, and it says suggested apps to download podcasts. What's this? My friend's like, oh, you should check it out. Okay, so I started listening to it. I listened to the Nerdist podcast.
Oh, I love that.
I listened to Star Talk Radio.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff turned me on to it as an actual format because getting into radio would have been awesome, but there's no local radio stations.
Right.
Technically, everybody's out of Dallas or Houston or Austin.
Well, actually, San Antonio is the home for Clear Channel.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's next to impossible to get in. It's really easy to get out because I got fired. But it's really easy to get out. But it's because I was like totally slack and I didn't respect my job. But it was fun. I did it for a long time. It was fun. But what got you into podcasting? How did you decide to start?
Well, I really do think that a lot of it started because of Star Talk Radio and the Nerdist got me into thinking, you know, if somebody had this to cover the local music scene, it could help.
Right.
It couldn't hurt, you know. And I mean, 210 Local Music, the first podcast is dedicated mostly to music, art, film, and entertainment. And I didn't want to limit it except for it's all San Antonio.
Right.
And that was the format I wanted to go out for. I landed my first interview with Pinata Protest, which is a local band which is up and coming.
I've heard of them.
And they were more than willing to do it. And they were like, oh, because I'm friends with them. I used to work with the drummer for 6 years at Directory Assistance.
Sweet.
And I was like, hey JJ, what are you guys doing? You know, can I interview you guys? He's like, yeah, sure. I'll talk to Alvaro and then just talk to our manager, and we'll get it set up. And sure enough, we did it. It was real brief. It was horribly recorded. I did it through my phone with a little tiny mic.
Yeah.
We were out by food trucks, so the sound was just horrendous.
Okay.
But after that, I was like, this is what I need to keep doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome hearing their stories, hearing about the band, it reminded me of old MTV days.
Okay.
You know, when they played music, or they had stuff like interviewing musicians.
Right.
It was all about the music. Now I don't even,
Right.
Boo Boo and stuff, I don't even know.
No.
So,
Well, what brought you to something like MonsterCon?
well, the event outside was Monsters of Music, and it was going to be 20 bands and all ages free, just like the event in here, but just outdoors and just music.
Okay.
Well, we got rained out.
Of course.
And I had come through here because I thought I was going to get a table in here, and they found out, oh, no, it's actually outside. Okay, no problem.
Right.
We got rained out, and I think they're going to be bringing in Green Jelly in here to perform, which they're not local. I'll probably stick around and hear them anyway just for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
But I was actually looking forward to Terra Firma playing, and I don't think that's going to end up happening. But I wanted to take a look around and see what else was in here, because still, you know, it's art, it's entertainment,
Right.
stuff that I'm into. I love zombies. Love what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I think that's
very
awesome.
cool.
And I just wanted to see what else is out there, because with a podcast, if you're the podcaster, you're the producer, you don't have any limits. Nobody
Right.
tells you what to do or
Right.
what not to do. You can say what you want. You can not say
Gotta
what you
do what you want. Yeah.
Exactly. And I figured, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity. So when I saw that you're a podcaster, I was like, oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's my big thing, is trying to find other podcasters.
Yeah, and it is fun, man. There's so many people doing it, but there's not very many people that enjoy doing it as much as me or somebody like you who just kind of searches for people to interview.
Yeah.
I have your card in my hand, and your Gmail. Can I put it out? for
Yes,
people to-
absolutely.
Okay, your Gmail is 210localmusic@gmail.com, and your phone number. Can I put that out too? for
We
the
do
world?
have a Google Voice mail. It's 210-807 or 802-1197.
So 210, and this is the number that you can call to get a hold of 210 Local Music.
Yeah, let me-
And they would love to talk to you guys about your music, your adventures here in music and radio.
Here we go. Sorry about that.
Actually looks
It's,
really cool.
Here we go. 210-802-1197. I just got it like a week and a half ago, so I'm kind of
So it's 210
802-1197.
802 1197.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
And it's a Google voicemail, so it's set up just to take voicemail. People call in. I can play their stuff on the show as well.
Right.
And then our sister show, because we are a network, our sister show is 210 Local Music Radio.
Yeah.
And that's completely dedicated to playing either full albums from song one all the way through, no
Right.
interruptions,
Right.
or mixtape. So
Do you target any kind of music, or is it just
right now it's
a
been
certain-
largely indie. I've been trying to get into the country scene a little bit as well. I've been
Okay.
trying to get into the punk scene. Pinata Protest helped
Yeah.
out with that a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty much open to anything. I
Awesome.
mean, I really think if I'm doing my job as a podcaster to bring attention to San Antonio, who am I to limit people?
Right,
You know?
definitely.
Even if it's not my
keep
taste.
it wide open, man? That's what I
Exactly.
would say.
Exactly.
Well, Mario, thank you so much for talking to me. I know that your podcast is just kicking ass, and I can't wait to go back and listen to it. I think that covers about everything that I have.
Yeah.
I wish you're here tomorrow, man, because I'd have so much more to talk about.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've got another
I'll try
show.
to make it, but I'm
If
not
you
sure. It's
can.
looking iffy because of the music outside.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
if we gets rained out again, it's,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and this show's going to air in 2 weeks, so you can just listen to it
Okay.
then.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
thank you
I'll
so
put this
much.
out as a special episode for my listeners as well.
Thank you. Mario Zamaron,
Yes.
Portuguese?
Yes, Portuguese.
Okay, dude, pleasure. Thank
Same
you
here,
so
man.
much.
Thank you.